Hey, what's up everyone? Dave Hunt back with you from Crossrope, and I've got another tutorial video for you today, jump rope jacks. It's one of the easiest exercises to help you understand the concept of maintaining that constant bounding rhythm, even when your foot positioning is changing. Just a quick reminder, if you enjoy these tutorials, please click on the first link below to find out about joining our free community. Lots of great free resources and workouts. And all of the ropes that I use can be found at crossrope.com in the second link below. So I'm going to go through and give you some tips on how to use this to really enhance your confidence in using different foot positioning for various skills, which is fun for mixing up your workouts. It's good for coordination, it's good for agility, and it's good for either athletic training or just general fitness training, balance, and coordination. So let's give it a shot and see what we can do. Okay, so like I mentioned before, I always encourage people to try a skill without a rope or with the rope in their hand prior to adding the rope, just to get comfortable with the rhythm. And if you can do jumping jacks, then you can do jump rope jacks, because the foot movement is exactly the same. So I want you to put your hands out to your sides as if you're jumping, and then simply start moving your feet to a wide position, back to a narrow, wide to a narrow. Now, the first thing that I want you to realize and understand is that when you've got the proper rhythm and timing with jumping, as long as your feet are contacting the ground at the same time, it doesn't matter where they land. They can land forward to back, they can cross. The most important thing to take away is that they're both leaving the ground at the same time so the rope can pass beneath, and then contacting at the same time for that bound. And I've found that beginners find it really useful to understand that, because then learning new skills becomes a bit less intimidating. So let's add the rope now. We always start slow, so we'll do 1 or 2 jumps, keep the rotation slow. Right away, one of the things that you need to be wary of in jump rope jacks, if you go too wide, it's going to interfere with the arc of that rope, and it's more likely for you to trip up. So start with just a narrow widening of the legs. And then as you build confidence, you can start to test the limits of how wide you can go without your feet striking the rope. Again, I can't emphasize enough the fact that the upper body rotational mechanics do not change at all from a regular bound, from that basic jump that we worked on in our first tutorial video. So your hands are still going to be symmetric, easy wrist rotation, 6 to 12 inches from your hips, in line with the plane of your body, and the only variable that's changing is the positioning of your feet. Now, one other little, trick that I've learned from experience, it is helpful when you're doing that wider bound if you want to point your toes inward a little bit. If your toes are wide, it's more likely that they're going to strike the arc of that rope. So part of it is going to be a little bit of a period of discovery for you in terms of what feels comfortable on the wider jump and in terms of how wide you can go. Now remember, when you're doing this, it is a coordination-based skill. It's good for targeting your leg muscles from slightly different angles. If you do want to work on your speed and your agility, you can increase the pace of this, and it's really, really helpful for that quick contact time and quick reaction. So jump rope jacks, give it a try. Remember, It's the first skill that I encourage people to learn to really ingrain the idea that as long as you've got the bounding rhythm down, it doesn't matter where your feet land, as long as they're in a position that allows the arc of the rope to pass underneath. Thanks again for joining me. We've got more tutorials to come. Let me know how jump rope jacks go for you.